Sitting down in Da Nang having some dinner. Burgers, more burgers. Well, I was telling Matt that my day was strenuous travel, and his day was...
No. What you said
What did I say?
You had a lazy day. What did you say?
No, I didn't say I had a lazy day.
No, me.
You had a lazy day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to define it as what a typical travel day is like for someone with backpacks, as opposed to trikes.
Yeah. Like my typical travel day involves 100 kilometers with my cycle killing me.
My typical travel day either involves airport terminals or bus stations or train stations and taxi drives, or pretty much that's what my travel day is.
Today was brutal for me. Like it was a rough day. And I wanted to ask you, because I'm so glad that you didn't end up...
Yummy.
Yeah. It's good.
Enjoy.
I'm gonna eat first, I'll continue this conversation later. My burger was fantastic. The pulled pork burger here is great. Matt's was left to be desired. He doesn't like Big Mac style.
That was good. I didn't say that was bad.
You had to wipe off all your special sauce.
No, that was nothing. That's nothing to do with it.
Oh, okay.
The burger was good. The bun was good. The meat was good. That was
Okay.
No, that was the best burger I've had in Asia in a long time.
Wow.
The Thousand Island dressing I don't like.
Okay.
That had nothing to do with it.
More Thousand Island, the better, in my book. All right, I wanted to ask Matt, because we do have a different style of travel, right? Like yours casual is a lot more casual than mine. Mine is like
I'm more of the well, this is a good example. I'm more of the do big things and then coast the rest of the way. Like Sundong Cave, and Matt wasn't, say he didn't come with me. I was gonna eventually do it at some point in my life, but if I was gonna do it, I would do it just as I did it, and then I would have taken the train to Da Nang or Hanoi, but I would be probably going there for a specific reason. I would have done research on the city, and I probably, those days are over. I used to travel like that. Now I'm more of a specific,
less random. You're not random.
No, not like I used to be.
Yeah.
But I think I've earned that. I'm not saying that they earned that, right? But it's just the next phase of my type of travel. Because I've been through that whole literal backpacking phase.
I was thinking about today, like, why do I enjoy cycle touring? You know, like, why does that appeal to me? And like today, I had a bunch of struggles. I pushed through a huge hill. I had nice moments, but there was a challenge. And at the end of the day, like you reached Da Nang. It wasn't, you had, you know, the bike to deal with. You had to get a ticket. You know, you had some challenges as a traveler, you know, trying to figure out how to get from A to B.
That wasn't a challenge.
But yeah. But for me, I pushed myself to get here. You know what I mean? To me, I feel like I feel this huge.
I don't find that nothing enjoyable about that.
Okay, so that leads to the question: what is your opinion, like a world traveling adventure backpacker? What is your opinion of my lifestyle? Like, honestly,
it's unique. It's very, very niche, I guess you can say. I mean, it's just. I mean, you hear about, you know, people, even mountain biking or regular, that you hear people doing that.
Yeah.
But it's usually on a motorbike of some sort. Oh, I motorbiked around Asia, and you are actually, well, triking, number one.
Yeah.
That is niche and unique.
Yeah.
Two, what probably surprises me the most, or which is a compliment when I say it surprised me, it's at least 5 times more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
And you keep on doing it. Like, that's what makes it weird, I guess. Is that most people would probably be like, unless they've done this their whole life, they've been preparing.
Right.
You still keep on doing it. You have just as much enthusiasm now as you did when you first started.
Yeah.
And that to me is what's kind of cool and kind of unique.
When you said that you thought it was going to be easier, like 3 times harder than you thought, what was your perception before you came here of what I do and the way?
I'll be honest with you, just like most people, and I'm not ashamed to admit this, because this is just this is the way it is portrayed. Like, trikes are for elderly, disabled people, or people that want to take the easy way out. The real men would like get on a bike, if they really want to do it that way. But it actually is more difficult on the legs, from my experience. My knees and quadriceps were on fire, and my knees, I can feel, like at ACL, like I can just feel them stretching and moving. As opposed to when I was on the bike, maybe it was also because of me leaning over. Was new.
You were sitting like down in the saddle, basically.
Yeah, just my whole body position was just not. It was in a different position than I've.
Oh, the bike.
That's
but even on the trike though, you were sitting like you were sitting down.
What I'm saying, I'm making the comparison where when I was on the trike, my quadriceps and knees were on fire and just twisting. I felt it. When I was on the bike, my #1 pain was my waist and above. My back, my shoulders, my triceps, because I was always having to brace myself. So if I was having painful quads and knees, I didn't feel it as much because of my back. But that trike was I mean, I was going maybe half your speed on it.
I push. I've gotten my pace down.
It was more difficult. And if I would have went into it and got a trike and saw that difficult, I would have said, Matt, this was a great idea. It's not for me. I just want to continue traveling with you. I'll do these little stints here and there, and I'll continue doing this. I'll take trains to the next place and you can meet me there. But the long-term biking, triking, it's not. I don't think it's for me.
This is actual, like, you're not being facetious. This is like...
No. I mean, when I say long-term, I mean Matt Gallup long-term. I'm not saying, I mean, I will for sure do 2 weeks again, many times. But probably my cap will be like 2 weeks.
I think that there's a lot to be said for the fact that your bike was a piece of shit.
Yes, that's a good point.
Like, if you had a better road bike or a better touring bike, I mean, because I don't know, I ran into those guys that we met on the road.
And that was very deflating for my ego, because they were on a bike too, and we started, when we saw them, we had a good, I'm gonna guess at least a half an hour ahead of them. Because they were still eating, they didn't even have their food yet, and we were gone, and I didn't see them for a good half hour. And the next thing you know, vroom, like they zoom right by me, waving, and I'm like, man.
You know, I was expecting you, even though you don't have the cycler physique, you know, you weren't accustomed to riding a bike, I was expecting to have you pulling me, you know, like, oh God, Matt, you know, he's way up ahead. That's why in my mind, the ride to Da Nang wasn't a big deal, because I thought, I'm gonna be the one having the trouble, and you're gonna be the one going in front, you know, and it turned out that you were slower, which I actually liked it, because I'm like, oh, I hate to feel like I'm the anchor, you know? And did you feel like you were an anchor then? No. Because you didn't have the preconceived notion of being a cyclist, so you know, it was.
I came to this, and if you would have asked me, which I don't know, maybe you just assumed it wasn't this way, and that's why you didn't ask me. But if you would have asked me right when I got there, what are your odds of biking with the Everest? I would have probably said maybe 50-50.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't come here intending 100%. I mean, I had the intentions of you know, let's see what happens. That's what I came here for. I came here for the cave, first off.
Right.
And the secondary was biking, but that was secondary to how I felt after the cave, if I was able to find a bike, and there was a lot of ifs before I would even attempt to do it. So it was not even in my plan. It wasn't in my scripted plan before I came.
I agree that the Sundong Cave was bar none the priority of this whole thing. But I also thought that like the biking was maybe up higher on my, because this is my lifestyle. It was, sharing this with you has been like amazing.
Well,
because,
you have to understand something. I had nothing to base it off of, because I mean, I lived on the Gili Islands for that 1.5 years or so, and yes, I rode a bike. That's how and that's why I thought, oh, it won't be that. I rode a bike for 1.5 years, but those bike rides were like maybe 5 minutes from my house to the dive shop, and the dive shop to my house, that was my riding. And maybe to go get something to eat, no more than 10-minute increments. And now all of a sudden I was doing almost 10-hour increments.
Yeah.
So I did not know exactly what to expect. So I didn't want to say, yeah, let's do it, I'm ready for this. Because I didn't know if I was going to be ready for it. And
I mean, you did good.
For me, I did as well as I expected.
Yeah.
I really did.
Even a little bit better. You said 50%. You did 2 days out of 3.
No. I mean, as far as the actual riding.
Okay.
I did as well as I expected.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't gonna be, you know, one of those guys you see on the side of the roads that don't have no hands and like drinking water. They're like waving to people. I think a couple times.
You were focused. You were moving.
The best I did was one hand on the handlebar so I can stretch my arm for maybe like 5 seconds.
Yeah. I kept seeing him stretch it out. I'm like, oh man, you're in pain. You're aching.
No, but I wasn't one of those guys that was so confident where I had no arms, pedal, and I knew that wasn't gonna happen. I didn't even I remember asking you, is 50 miles a day, is that even, I didn't know if that was gonna be a lot. I was clueless about how this was gonna affect me.
Until I saw your progress, I thought the ride today was gonna be something where you were gonna push ahead of me just because you were on an upright bike. And they tend to do a little bit better on the hills, you know.
And I will say, I was talking to some friends back home that saw what I was doing, and they admit like it's not that difficult if you had a good bike.
Yeah.
If I had a street bike or a hybrid,
I rode those guys' bikes, the ones that we saw. We traded. He took the trike.
Was there a big difference in mine?
Yeah. I mean, there were more rocks. There were giants. They weren't like amazing, but they were not off-brand. Oh yeah, 100%. Not 100%, but an incremental difference,
Well, then, I mean, it makes me feel a little better because what makes me not feel disappointed by it is it wasn't my cardiovascular. I wasn't tired.
Yeah.
Even towards the end, I was standing up. I was going as fast as I could, and I was booking. But
the body ache.
It was
my body,
my shoulders, my neck, it just wasn't, and I'm not kidding. When we were going through the old town, I was in
you were
I was in first gear on flat surface, and I was most of the time standing up just because my butt hurt so much to sit on that seat. So I was in first gear standing
saddle
up.
sore.
So that's when I knew I couldn't go.
Okay, this is another primary question why I wanted to do this video. Okay, so you did the ride. Obviously, aches and pains. If you rode for 2 weeks, those would go away. So I'm not taking those out of the equation. What are, from your point of view, from a backpacker, primary traveler, the way you travel, what do you see as a positive and advantages and disadvantages to cycling as you're traveling form, like the way I do it?
Well, you have the obvious. You're obviously become more fit.
Yeah.
That's the obvious. But on more of a traveling aspect of it.
Yeah. Positive and negative.
It's cheaper. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You are almost forced to have more interaction with people. And that's kind of the whole big part of the essence. Well, that's a big part of the essence of travel.
Yeah.
So it's the same reason I used to like staying in the hospital because it forced me to. Because I'm not the most extroverted person.
Yeah.
I am introverted.
Yeah.
So staying in the hospital to me kind of forced me to, and that's one of the biggest things I do see about biking. And number 3, I get thrown out there when you see so much of the countryside.
Yeah.
When I say see, I don't mean like on a bus you can see it too, but you're booming right past it.
Yeah.
Seeing, I mean you can stop and take it in and go to the side of the, little mom and pop stop on the side of the road. It's more genuine. That's the way. It's a lot more genuine.
Okay.
And it's unique. I like things that are unique.
Yeah.
To down things.
Yeah.
You cover less ground.
Yeah.
Like shoot, you've been in. How long have you been in Vietnam?
I don't know, over a month and a half, I guess.
If I was in Vietnam for a month and a half, traveling my way,
Yeah.
I would have
everything.
have done so much more than you.
Yeah.
But your experience would be completely different. I would have seen more of the big cities, seen more of the attractions, more of the adventure, like the
You would have been boom, 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 boom.
yeah.
You know.
You and
I mean, I've done a lot. I mean, but my things are maybe less on the scale of like epic adventures. My things are probably more
right,
mundane, maybe.
And
you
I'm
know?
the other way. I'm
Yeah.
more of the. That's why I said right when I got here, the very first video I was on, I said I kind of went on stages where I guess I can even say at one point I was a tourist, then I was a traveler,
Yeah.
then I was a backpacker.
Yeah.
Now I'm on an adventure.
Yeah.
Like I travel now with intention, and those intentions are usually for an adventure.
So would you say maybe I'm more of a lifestyle?
Yes. That's
Like,
a good
you know
way
what I
to
mean? Like it's a lifestyle, literally
That's a
every
great way
day,
to put it,
right?
Because when I was backpacking, that's the way I refer to it.
Yeah.
Backpacking is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I had so many more memories, so many good stories in hostels, and in dirty bus stations, and getting from point A. What inspired this whole tattoo?
Yeah.
The journey is the destination, because I had so many stories and things happening in between. But I'm over that now. It's been altogether. It's been almost 7 years for me.
Yeah.
I am over that kind of traveling. Now I want more of a purposeful type of traveling, where I want to go on an adventure. Things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, it's because I've been wanting to ask you sort of like your opinions on like advantages and disadvantages,
But
especially.
But in the big scheme of things, you and I, and we both know this. We talked about this. We travel alike up here.
Yeah.
When we get to the places where we're getting to, our days are for the most part the same. We have the same interests.
Yeah.
So the only thing really different is how we get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
So that's really the only thing different.
The journey is the destination.
Your journey is
My journey is a little bit different than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
But the whole thing is the destination. So
Yeah.
like I said, I mean, I don't want to say graduated, because there's people
Yeah.
that travel that do backpack their whole life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I've just shifted to more now specific adventure, like purposeful, that type of traveling, as opposed to let's just go and see what happens.
So you're not putting away the backpack,
No, I never,
getting a bike.
My life, I'll never get no.
No, I'm just saying. So this experience hasn't
I see what you're
opened
saying.
your eyes to cycling, and you're like, epiphany.
No, all this is another
Experience to add to the belt.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just another. I want to say it's another chapter. It's another page of a chapter.
Yeah. My dad always told me, like, put on somebody's shoes, you can appreciate their situation more, So now you've been able to try on my shoes for a little while, and you've decided that they're a nice pair of shoes, but you don't put them back in the closet.
Yeah.
That's cool. This is a great conversation, actually. Whether you guys like it or not, I've kind of enjoyed it. Matt's leaving in a couple of days, so I thought this was a great chance to talk about this, especially seeing as though you left your bike behind. So that chapter is closed for you.
Yeah. I mean, but even if, what was I gonna do with it anyway?
Give it to a kid.
I tried. I didn't try, but I tried.
I tried.
But
No, I didn't.
I tried to look for it.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't. And well, okay. You throw me under the bus a little bit too much.
Oh, I do.
Okay, because what happened on the day that I thought we were going to go look for someone to go.
Yeah.
I
kind of screwed the
I
pooch.
honestly thought we were gonna make a whole day out of it.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna make a whole day out of it. And
I
we
was
were
thinking
gonna
about that today.
But you were more than fine in your bed editing all day.
That's true.
So
Yeah,
don't make it sound like it was all.
It was all on you, buddy. All you. All right, guys, take it easy. I'm an asshole. That's what the end of this topic is. Later.